How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Millie's digging around trying to find money under the floorboards.
It's because you took that money that the bank robber stole.
Yeah. She won't give up. I'm trying to tell her that it's just a slab under there, but she doesn't believe me. And she won't stop digging until she finds something.
On a slab.
I heard that guy's being released from prison soon, so you need to snuff him out so
Better hurry.
he doesn't turn you in.
We're wrapping up Fame Month with a discussion of Brian De Palma's The Black Dahlia from 2006. But before that, Andy will be talking about...
I hate that dog. I love you, but stop.
Andy, what was your movie again?
Hack House?
Hack House, that's right. Hack House.
Hack House.
I'm Freddy. Amy's here.
Hi.
Of course, Andy's here.
Hi.
Mike's here.
I'm Mikey B, back from Gen Con.
That's right, back from Gen Con.
Yeah.
And,
Nerd.
I am. Oh my gosh. How'd you know?
Any good horror game releases there?
Yes. There is a game called Nyctrophobia. I think I'm saying it right.
When you're afraid of Nickelodeon?
It is. When you're afraid of Nickelodeon's show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Nerd. I thought that was one of the really cool, clever horror games from the show. It was designed actually by a girl who wanted to play a game with her, I believe, father or uncle who was blind.
A girl.
And so the concept of the game is everybody wears blackout glasses, so they can't see, and they're feeling around this board that's can be randomly designed by a axe murderer who can see.
It's razor blades and syringes.
And butterfly kisses. And
it's like that Saw, the Shawnee Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, in the syringe.
You have to fish for the key in a little bowl of syringes, but you're blindfolded.
That part made me nauseous.
So Andy played this game.
Yeah. And so
Blackout.
I got AIDS now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world. So the axe murderer takes the hands of the people and puts it on their playing piece, and then they're trying to feel around the board to navigate, and then they get really tense because they can't see anything and they don't know how close. And the only thing, like the axe murderer, is playing cards that allow him to move and manipulate. So, and also is told whether or not he's giving lies about where the people are, or taunting them, like telling them they're very far from their goal, or telling them some truths or whatnot. So it's a really neat experience. People, I played the game. I played the game as the axe murderer people I played the game with. So they really enjoyed it, but they did not want to play it again because it was really like just a kind of intense, just to be feeling around this board and hoping you don't run into an axe murderer. So that was really cool.
It's fun.
Hopefully they clean the pieces after everybody went.
You
right?
do, because wouldn't be responsible not to.
A bunch of sweaty nerds touching those pieces.
You don't want
By the
to.
end of
Just any board game.
By the end of the day, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, a lot. It's a lot. Sweaty nerds. Then there were some announcements about. There's always Cthulhu games. So there were some announcements. There's a game for those who grew up in the '80s and remember the game Kerplunk. There's a game that basically is like Kerplunk but with Cthulhu, and you're actually playing the game. And one of the ways that you show whether or not you have madness or not is you're pulling out these like Cthulhu tentacles out of a big castle and hoping that your madness marbles don't fall down through.
You lose your marbles.
You'll lose your marbles. So I thought that was cool. And Fantasy Flight, who's a really big board game designer, they're rebooting the Arkham Horror series one again. So I think this is now 3rd or 4th edition. They showed it. Looks totally different than what your typical Arkham Horror looked. So they've rebooted that, and I think they've also are doing things in their LCG, which I know some of you guys are fans out there of the LCG of Arkham Horror, and I think there's an expansion for Mansions of Madness that's coming out, which is another in the Arkham Horror, which if you haven't played and you're a board gamer, absolutely fantastic. Mansions of Madness is a fantastic game. On second edition, they added where it used to be one person was versus everybody, and it took a long time for that person to set up. But now on Mansions of Madness, actually an iPad or iPhone or Droid device or whatever runs as the bad guy, and the bad guy, they can kind of, the iPad is taunting you through the game and telling you where to set up your pieces. So they're going to be expanding that game out with another expansion. I think they're like 3 or 4 already for it. So
that's what we needed, because when the few times we tried to play Arkham Horror, we were so exhausted after we tried setting it up that we gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Arkham Horror is also known for being a really long game, but they bridged out and did what Eldritch Horror, and Eldritch Horror is a competitive, or is a co-op more puzzle solving game, which I really like. I think that's a great game. And then Mansions of Madness is also a co-op game where it does everything. But they are rebooting the original that started the whole thing, Arkham Horror, on their 3rd edition. I don't really know a whole lot about it other than the board is round. They're like little round discs and interchangeable, as opposed to the big square board that came in the original Arkham Horror game. So yeah, there's quite a few horror games, and also some fantastic new artists. A board game that's a little bit older called Murder of Crows. There was an artist there who rebooted that game and did all the art for it, and it's just called Crows now, but looks really cool. So for the board gamers out there that like that horror edge, there are things that coming or already out.
Was Cheryl there promoting it too?
Cheryl, yes. Cheryl Zombie was there. And then was there something? Oh, Detective, for the murder people out there. Was it one of the games of the show?
I'm a murder person.
Are you a murder person?
You've been murdered? Oh, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And also for like those of you out there who like those escape room experiences, there is a game called Detective. Was Game of Show sold out every day, which is not too uncommon for like, there's usually like 7 or 8 games that are the hard to get games with Gen Con. It was one of them, sold out I think on Friday.
And what you mean by that is actually an event where you participate by playing the game.
No, I mean in actually being able to buy the game.
To buy it? Oh,
to buy the game.
Gotcha.
So a lot of games, Gen Con is one of the major conventions where board games release.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the Kickstarters...
Millie!
A lot of Kickstarters will be there sometimes before they've actually released, which is controversial, of course, around Kickstarter. Before they've the people who Kickstarted them get them, and then also they're released in small quantities. So some games get like they'll release what they have before it goes out in public, usually later in the fall or sometimes even not till November. So some of those games are there already being released, and one of them was called Detective, sold out on Friday. And they did actually, like, I think we're doing like limited amounts every day, but maybe not on that one. But what people really like about it is it's a deductive game. It's a co-op, and it's set up. It's like a 6-hour game. I mean, you can play it and take breaks or whatever, or play it in parts. But the way people were describing it is like literally it's you and your friends like sitting out and whiteboarding out and diagramming this whole murder, trying to solve it. And what's neat about this one, murder board, is one of your resources is a laptop, and they actually have a website that's designed for the game. So you can go in and you're entering in information into your laptop, trying to solve it, and you're all working together to grind. Yeah, we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I definitely thought it would be a fun one to play with this group. But it was sold out, so I was unable to get it. But it's available already, so you can get it. They just didn't have it at Gen Con for purchase.
Is there a Pizzagate extension where you figure out that Hillary Clinton was peddling in
Did you know
child
that every one of our
prostitutes?
politicians is a pedophile except Donald Trump?
Yeah, apparently.
Except him.
You were talking about Kerplunk, and I had this idea for a game called Kerstunk,
Okay.
where you had little chunks of shit,
Yeah.
and if you pull your pin out, and there's this fan on the bottom that the little chunk of shit hits, and it just fucking obliterates it and fills the room with shit stink.
Where does the shit come from?
You can make it yourself.
No, wait. So you bring your own?
You can bring your own. You can
I
get
got
it
a
out of the
backyard
yard.
full of dog shit if you guys want to play.
You can do it with other stinky things too, like old fingernails.
Did you start thinking about this?
Old fingernails?
Yeah.
Do they smell?
It depends on who they came from.
If you have fingernails in your poo, well, I mean, I don't want to make judgments.
Well, some people will probably swallow their fingernails when they bite them.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Oh,
I bite my fingernails quite a bit. I don't swallow
Oh, I
them.
know. I've seen.
I promise.
I've seen your side of the car.
Hey, I like to bite my nails. Yes, okay.
hers is disturbing. Hers is like an episode of Channel Zero.
It's just. It's very. I was like, how
I need to vacuum my car.
I was like, how fast do her nails grow?
I take vitamins.
Some of them are
There
from
you
her
go.
conjoined twin.
All right. So what? All right. We all got our gross thing. I bite my fingernails, and they're all on the bottom of my car.
Oh, mine are in a little pill jar.
You're disgusting.
So
Who's worst? Listeners, who's worst? Worst? Who's worse?
we had bratwurst last night.
Oh yeah, we had a great time last night.
So I'm gonna bring my collection of nails to play Curse Plum.
Please never bring them anywhere near me.
I can make cupcakes for you
I
guys.
actually can make a clinical diagnosis about who's worse, but I'm not going to. So
I want you to. I need to feel better about myself.
Oh, I know I'm worse because that's gross.
Thank you.
I knew a guy in
nails
high
go.
school that kept a piece of his skin in a jar with a vitamin, and he was trying to grow a clone.
What's his first name?
nope, don't do that.
Just first name.
Don't do it.
Eric. You know what I'm talking
Do
about.
I know this guy?
I can tell you later. I think you do.
Okay, so where were we?
OCD corner. So speaking of
real
control,
Who would have been laughing? He'd be laughing now if it had worked. If he's like, hey,
Yeah.
guess what, guys? Remember when I took that chunk of my skin and that vitamin?
was it a men's multiple?
I think it was like a daily vitamin, yeah.
Did he just expect the vitamin to magically?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
I don't
called
know.
multiple for a
Was there
reason.
water?
Did he water it or change the
yeah,
fill out?
I think he watered it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure
anyway,
he
what
saw
else?
a quest for peace.
What else do we have to talk about?
It takes
I-
2 years to fill up a pill bottle full of nails.
Huh. Are you going for like a world record or something? You should get one of those big water cooler jugs, like people put coins in,
Mhm.
and then see if you can fill it.
Oh, should be contest a horror hound and guess how many fingernails are in this jar,
I'm gonna
Oh,
vomit.
that's real
nailed
gross.
it.
and they can
Good
win.
idea.
They can win a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Bad joke.
this is real
can't.
Don't
I
encourage
can't even.
it.
I can't help but wonder what that pill jar smells like.
Oh,
when you-
no, my nails are clean. I don't stick my finger
yeah,
in my
but
butt.
it's
I don't
still.
want to talk about
Okay.
smells anymore.
You don't stick your finger up your butt, Andy.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I find that hard to believe.
You see me stick my finger in my
Yeah.
butt?
We've seen
Yeah.
you wedge
We've
pick.
seen your
Yeah.
finger.
and you dig sometimes.
You really did.
Did you have to use a finger?
How'd it get brown? How'd it get brown?
How far do you think my underwear goes up my butt?
Hey,
All the way.
Close.
so anything happening in the world that's good?
We drove to Columbus yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, Mike, and I we went to the Hula Hop at the Grass Skirt Tiki Bar,
Yeah.
and then their parking lot.
And we did. We went to their parking lot.
It was so fun.
We've been to the Grass Skirt before, so tiki culture is getting bigger again. And then Columbus, and I believe Indianapolis is about to open up a tiki bar. So come on, Cincinnati. Although you were saying someplace in Cincinnati.
Oh well, the old biker bar near our place.
They call themselves a
They're
tiki bar.
calling themselves a tiki bar now. I don't know. I mean, this was like a hardcore like Sons of Anarchy
Are
level
you sure?
biker bar
Do you-
before.
Still is.
Did you mishear them say titty bar?
Oh,
It's on
I
their
love-
sign.
Maybe the wind blew the two T's together
Yeah.
into
Oh.
a K.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Because the bar they're talking about used to be a rough place, to put it mildly.
Still is. Like,
That's a
this is
tiki
not
bar
a
now.
new-
It's fine.
You know, I
The
mean,
tiki culture is about fun, friendship,
yeah.
But
Rum.
But the biker culture is about fun and friendship. too.
Levity?
Mhm.
Is that what you were looking for, Mike?
Thank
yeah,
you.
bikers get a bad rap because they defend people from being bullied.
There's that, and they also do a lot of charitable causes.
Yeah.
And then they also murder people. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Well, apparently there a lot of people are boycotting Harley Davidson now
Why?
What'd he do?
because Harley,
He bad.
because they're closing plants and
The tariffs.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It is in support of Trump. They're boycotting Harley Davidson.
Oh.
Well, that
too
could
bad.
get the Harley Davidson uniting community. I feel like that there might be some overlap.
The leather chaps.
The leather chap.
The leather
Yeah.
chap
That could
community.
get them going a different direction.
The Dykes on bikes.
Dykes on
Yeah.
bikes.
I really love. I always wanted a Harley Davidson. My uncle had one. It was so
Motorcycles
fun.
scare the hell out of me.
Which uncle?
Dan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all ever been on one?
I don't. Yeah, my mom was a biker chick back in the day.
Did she ride on one? Or
Yeah,
she
had one.
Oh, she was an old lady.
She was.
It was more like dirt bike culture, and I don't know if that's different.
Yeah, remember my boyfriend calls me Big Mama.
Like I used to go. Her and her boyfriend. I was very little, and we lived in Florida, and I used to go. Like they would go riding dirt bikes in this place, and I would just hang out, like as a kid while they did all that. And I would just play.
That's
cool.
cool.
Did you have a tiny little leather vest?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
I don't feel like it was leather vest. It wasn't. I don't feel like it was that.
I don't
culture
feel
of
like
the
dirt bikes
biking.
are leather.
Yeah.
They're more like
like shirtless.
Oh, okay.
Or
Jean
sometimes-
shorts.
Yeah.
Just real Florida trash is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, Mom.
Was it almost like mudding?
I guess I don't really.
Was it
a
a dirt bike or ATVs?
Bikes. They were.
Bikes.
Motorcycles.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah,
But I'm terrified of motorcycles. Like I don't like them at all.
it's like riding a bicycle when you're a kid, only way better.
Yeah.
Is it that easy?
I mean, they're not super difficult.
Well, I was actually going for my motorcycle's license. This has been about 10 years ago maybe, and because I was really sold on I wanted to go cross country on a motorcycle and
going up the country.
Yeah. And I got my first big car accident like right before I was going to take my motorcycle accident, and realized like if I had been a motorcycle, I'd been dead.
Yeah.
So I've never gone back since.
My aunt was one of her when she was a teenager, I think. I don't remember how old she was, but got in a motorcycle accident. She was on the back of her boyfriend's bike and he died.
Didn't she have to have some surgeries on
Yeah.
her face too?
Yeah.
My mom hit a motorcycle when we were kids. I was in the car too.
Kill the guy?
I hope not.
Oh, you don't.
She just kept going, or
no? I remember we were making a left.
We might need to
into
edit this out.
You know where the Walmart is now?
Yeah.
We were making a left into there because my brother needed to go to Walgreens to get some mechanical pencil. I don't know why I remember that so vividly.
And your mom was staring at one of those "Look out for motorcycles" bumper stickers, and she missed him.
And then and Alanis Morissette wrote the song,
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, about her.
Yeah.
An Asian lady staring at a "Look out for motorcycles" bumper sticker.
And that was back when we had remember the station wagons where you can sit in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we were there and I got flung forward.
Oh.
I didn't wear a seatbelt.
Well,
So you don't have any memory of your mom stopping and getting out of the car?
She got out of the car and checked on him, but
good.
I was.
But it was too late.
Yeah.
You all bring up something. We were getting really nostalgic on the car ride yesterday down to up to Columbus, and that made me think about were any of your parents protesters of the seatbelts when they started making seatbelt laws back in the late 80s? I guess that was.
No,
Remember
they
that?
didn't they weren't
People protested
against it. Yeah.
Well, I remember my mom being
yeah.
very adamant, we will not wear, they can't tell us to wear seatbelts. We never
it's
did it
like
before.
it's like Kelley. I do what I want, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Mom was a Kelley.
Well, I did. They didn't protest, but there were times I always had to remind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom was bad about that.
And we didn't have over-the-shoulder belts back then. They were just lap belts.
Right.
Yeah, and they were just
They were not comfortable.
in back seats of cars. At least a lot of the ones that I remember us having didn't actually have
Right.
seatbelts at all. It was just the front.
Well, we were too lazy to dig the seatbelt out from under the seat.
Yeah.
Because it got all stuck in the cushion.
I feel like I'll have to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I got my mom a ticket once by roaming around the back seat, no seatbelt, and waving at a cop behind her.
Did you
I'm pretty sure I got her a ticket.
Did you have the interior light on? Because you can't turn those on.
Yeah.
I need to see that. Andy
I
says
turned
that's
the
a
dome.
law.
I turned the dome light on last night on the way back from Columbus, so I could see into Andy's bag to get him something. Anyways, he was asking for his butt plug so he could be comfortable on the drive home, and I turned the dome light on. And Andy said that was illegal to drive with your dome light on. And I'm like, but people use these to look at maps for years. I don't understand,
I don't know
what you mean.
I was always told you can't have them on because it can distract the driver.
Maybe
And
it
you
just
get into that.
distracted
Well, you
your mom.
shouldn't
And
have
she was
them on
like,
for a while, but
Right.
she made it a mom law, maybe.
mom law.
Mom law.
I still believe it to this day.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
So, Yeah.
We went to the Tiki Bar.
We went to the Tiki Bar.
It was actually an event, which was really cool. Most people didn't. Like, a lot of people were surprised. I think there'd been a lot more people there. I didn't see a lot of advertisement for it, but a guy who I follow on Instagram does, I think it's called Lake Tiki Wood.
I can look it up.
But he does tiki carvings, so I had to get a couple things. But I know. But it was cool. The Grass Skirts Fun Bar, they got great drinks, and they had hosted this whole event. So there were vendors.
Lake Tiki Woodcrafts.
Lake Tiki Woodcrafts. So shout out to him and his wares. He had great prices on some big stuff. One of these days, I'm going to get one of those big wood tikis. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to get one.
If you go to our Instagram, Night of the Living podcast on Instagram, you can see pictures of Mike obsessing at the booth.
Yeah,
I took some clandestine candid photos.
Creep.
Mostly upskirt stuff.
Up tiki grass skirt.
Yeah.
Up grass
Tiki,
skirt.
you can see my fez that I'm proud of. that I got at Gen Con. I also posted a couple pictures, I think, from Gen Con. Not many, but maybe a couple. I think that Cthulhu game is on there, so that might be interesting to some of our listeners. But yeah, so, and what was cool is not only do they have vendors and, of course, tiki drinks and lots of tiki mugs, they also had bands, live music. Which was fun. We only got to hear one band.
Experiment.
Yeah. I guess after we left, it sounded like there were like quite a few bands that went on because they were playing late into the night. Different tiki bands, which would be kind of beach music as you would assume it would be. But we were there for the large portion, which Freddie you should talk about because it was
Well, first
funny.
I want to talk about the Jimmy Psycho experiment. I really loved what this guy was doing.
Yeah,
he's just a dude in a grass skirt with a luchador mask, and he's got keyboards and synthesizers and electronic drums, and he is playing just great music. I mean, all kinds of like elevator music and rock songs and all kinds of shit. But it was just like a really fun, unique kind of performance.
Elevator music's a little triggering for me, Freddie. What do you mean by that?
Oh, like he would, like the girl from Ipanema type stuff.
Okay, but not in that like elevator. Like I think of elevator music as like
love in an elevator.
Boring.
Oh no! I meant in a good way, like AM rock type
Gotcha.
song, yacht rock.
Yeah.
But also he was playing like Billy Idol and all kinds of other stuff. But then there was the Artists Wrestling League,
ASL.
AWL.
ASL sign language. Sorry.
American Sign Language League. And these guys were really fun. I mean, they're mostly like middle-aged dudes doing the pro wrestling shtick. And I have photos and videos of them too.
You got some great. I saw some of those pictures, and you did get some great footage.
They turned out pretty good.
They did turn out good, but they were. The concept was like impromptu. Somebody would throw out an idea from the crowd, and you thought they were going to be wrestling like wrestling. But they're really painting.
They're doing both.
There was wrestling that was happening in the background, I think.
There was two. They would set up easels in either corner, and the wrestlers, in addition to wrestling, had to do finger paint art of whatever the people in the audience were shouting out. But then they were also wrestling. Yeah, exactly.
Paper salesman.
I'll get to it after Freddie talks to about the wrestling stuff.
My favorite was Man Cheeto, which was just a dude with a Cheeto for a head. And he's kind of, I think he was a heel.
Yeah, he was a heel.
He was a Cheeto for a head, but it was like a Donald Trump mask. Too.
It was also shaped like Trump's head somewhat,
He's a fucking Cheeto.
And I think that's
a rotten
why.
Cheeto.
Yeah.
Full of Cheetos.
Poop. And then there was the
poop Cheeto.
What were the name of the tag team champions?
The Stinky Clowns?
No, that was Free Candy.
Oh, Free Candy.
Free Candy were the clown tag team, and they were challenging. What were they? They
were challenging gender norms.
They were.
There was a lot of that.
Oh, okay. Right. The Ripe Pair.
Oh, the Ripe Pair.
Yeah.
You've got the right pair.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Andy?
I don't want to be mean, but at one point it got kind of exhausting.
Well, yeah, I think you come to anything like that pre-exhausted, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy doesn't like when people are real into stuff.
Yeah.
If Andy sees somebody and he's like, that person spent more than 30 minutes in front of a mirror today, he's like, he starts to check out.
No, a lot of these people fell off the improv tree.
Yeah.
And like, there are no more exhausting people in the world.
If you're too into a thing that isn't Andy's thing,
Hey, I never said. Like I said, I always say I've never said I was not a hypocrite.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought the
Aren't we
thing that
all?
I was really, it was one of the things
You guys agree with me too, so don't make me out to be like a total villain.
You are the
went
heel.
too- it
Andy's
went
the
too
heel.
long.
I really enjoyed it. I needed a break though.
It
at
went-
one
it
point
went a long time.
because it was like literally not broken up in any way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was intended to be something that you
Stood
and watched for that long. I think it was meant to be something you. At least if I ran an event like that, it's just something that as people come through, it's an interesting thing to
Right.
stop and watch. We just happened to stop and watch it, which speaks to how entertaining it was. We watched it for a long time.
Right.
We probably watched 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah. It
And,
would have been nice. They were fun and it was unique, but it would have
I
been
had
nice
a good
to
time, but
to then have put some music back in there.
sometimes people can just be a little much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
I absolutely agree with you.
was
It was-
concerned about that because I saw some pictures and I thought like there was going to be Insane Clown Posse wrestlers. So when they were doing what they were doing, and then they were kind of doing some inclusivity stuff with the referee, I thought.
Oh yeah. There was one of the refs was
I don't know.
kind of doing kind of a drag thing in a way.
Yeah, he had fans that said
Yeah.
like "Daddy" on it and other things. So it was like
fun.
obviously a nice community.
Yeah.
Of,
You guys got to see something unique, and that's
we
fun.
I
did.
feel like there was a lot of overlap with Horror Hound people there.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we even said that if Nathan isn't already aware of the AWL, we have to reach
Yeah.
out to him and make sure he
Be
knows about
very
it.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Speaking
It was
of
fun.
Horror Hound Weekend's coming up very soon. HorrorHoundWeekend.com.
How soon?
Like
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my! What?
At the JW Marriott, Indianapolis.
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness.
I think that's one of the Gen Con.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
Moving on up. Yeah.
Yeah, and the screenings they're going to have at the IMAX instead of some will be still at the hotel, but they'll have a number of screenings at the IMAX.
Will they be separate ticketed events now?
No,
or
it's
is
part of
still-
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. The
Yeah.
IMAX is nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But tell them the big news about our podcasting friends.
Are you talking about Bill from
Yeah.
Outside the Cinema? They'll be screening his documentary "Survival of the Film Freaks," which I'm really pumped to watch and have Bill. Bill will be there, so I'm sure we'll have him on the podcast.
Haven't
and
seen
I know
him in years.
many of you listening probably know Bill. He's a great guy.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's the premiere, isn't it?
It is the premiere, and it looks really great.
That's cool.
So that's exciting. There'll be a number of other films playing, including Amy's favorite Friday the 13th film, Jason Goes to Hell,
Come on, you guys.
shown on the big screen.
It is my favorite of that series.
They're IMAXing
I
it.
will. I don't care what you
I
think
don't
of
know.
me.
Was
wonder-
that thing about the little girl on the donut or the?
Yeah.
What is the line though?
It's when they ask Stephen Williams' character what he thinks about when they say Jason Voorhees. He says, "A little
Girl in
girl."
a pink dress
Mhm.
pushing a hot dog through a donut.
Yep.
And you met him.
Uh-huh.
It was a great
And I
experience.
told him
Yeah.
that I was going to bring him a donut and a hot dog, and he laughed and laughed.
And he
He
gave you.
did. We got video of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember
He
that
became my
moment.
best friend in that moment.
He was.
We still
I think he
talk.
still is.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be fun if we did?
hmm
He's
Yeah.
like, stop sending me pictures of hot dogs and donuts.
No, I won't. I
So
won't.
before we move on to roulette, I wanted to say thank you to our patrons and thanks to our neighbor Heather, who is now a patron.
Big Heather.
Shout out to you. And as far as Patreon, since the last episode, we recorded another Horror Hound Radio, so that's back on track schedule wise, and we're in that episode that's coming out later. I don't know exactly when. We talked about horror franchises that should have ended and kind of when they should have ended. It was a really fun conversation. Fozzie, Amy, and I went and saw The Meg and reviewed it. So
It was fun.
I know Eric hated it.
I don't care what Eric
from
has to
BJ.
say. Eric, find some joy in your life. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Eric, come on, man.
What did you want? Did you want Jaws? Because you weren't going to get it.
Eric wanted a nap.
That's true.
I love you, Eric. And we also released Origins episode 20. This was the Lost Boys episode. We also covered Fright Club and I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
And love you. I will always know what you did last summer and love you despite what you did.
I thought this was really a happy timing to release that particular podcast because the Lost Boys reunion that consists of Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick, the two big surviving stars of the film.
Going to be at Horror Hound Weekend.
At Horror Hound
It's
Weekend.
gonna knock on wood just in case.
Yeah,
Well, they could get a job.
Yeah.
I don't think at this point, I would hope not. It's 2 weeks out, but that's going to be great.
We're not hoping they don't get jobs, just hoping that they're there.
Yeah, we hope they get jobs, but we hope they start after Horror Hound. And I'm sure Kiefer Sutherland doesn't have a problem getting any jobs. And not to say Jason Patrick does. I just dug myself right into a hole. Continue. So anyways, this is one of my favorite episodes of the podcast, the Lost Boys episode, so check that out. And today we're recording this episode, of course, and then come Monday, tomorrow morning, you can listen to our review of the newest Puppet Master movie, Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich, written by S. Craig Zoller, who did Bone Tomahawk and Brawl on Cell Block 99, and starring Thomas Lennon from Reno 911.
And Barbara Crampton.
And what's his name from Veep, who's great?
Nelson Franklin.
Thank you. And so check that out. That'll be available to you. By the time you're hearing this, it's probably out there unless you're one of our people that listen as soon as we release. And then there's some other stuff planned. Night of the Comic. We're going to do a tribute to Steve Ditko this week and talk about The Amazing Spider-Man, the comic. And hopefully whatever else I can squeeze in to my tight little podcast.
we need to get some Spanx. Squeeze some more stuff in.
Yeah.
Squozen.
And Andy volunteered to scrub our next.
No, that was Kelley.
Oh no, Kelley does the next one. Then Andy, and Andy was he's real tentative because he's like, I actually have to listen to it.
He's talking about Origins.
Origins,
our first 74
I mean, I've done a couple introductions, but I've skipped a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
I just find out what we're covering and talk about.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The reason I always when I listen to them, I'm listening for a few things. One is what we covered, so I can put it in the notes. The other thing is, though,
to apologize for any unwokeness.
Yeah, I like to address how we've evolved as people, but also, like, for instance, one of the episodes, somebody used the R word.
Oh.
And then again, it happened on one where we didn't catch it. So I wasn't able to address, like, we don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if we regressed?
I ain't perfect,
got worse.
but I'm trying to be better.
What if we listened to it? We're like, we were better people back then. And we also had a couple of people on the show back then that maybe didn't care so much about, what anybody else thought. So I just like to address that stuff and let you know before you go in and listen to Origins that the show was a little more no holds barred, insensitive.
We're just basically putting more evidence out while we can't be president in the future.
Exactly. We're just trying to fuck ourselves as much as possible in the butts.
Yes.
We're just trying to control the narrative, as they say now.
Sure.
Optics.
I just got to get out in front of this thing. No, but it's not that bad. But still, that's why it takes a little time to get those out.
We weren't talking about grabbing pussies or anything like that.
No,
or were we?
I don't know. We recorded a few shows in a locker room, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else before we move on? Again, patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to support the show. It's very much appreciated.
And where that support goes, it keeps this show going. It keeps Horror Hound Radio going because we record in this space. Mm-hmm. It provides all that bonus content, all the T-shirts and pins that we're going to be making every year. The new ones Kelley's working on for this year.
It helps Freddy when he needs new suspenders. Get some new suspenders.
It lets us feed Andy occasionally on the weekends, which he really looks forward to. And let's not lie. So
it's like a Sally Struthers thing.
Yeah, for $1
a month.
Coffee. And then also the big thing that we always were hoping to do, and we're finally doing, we're going to LA in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on wood.
For the Halloween 40 event that Horror Hound Magazine and Bloomhouse are putting on. And that is October 12th in Pasadena, California, celebrating the 40th anniversary of John Carpenter's Halloween. All kinds of fun shit planned. Go to Halloween40.com.
I might not come back with you guys because I'm being discovered.
Yeah.
I'm going to do stag films.
Maybe.
You're going to find 2 of me eventually.
Well.
So patrons, this wouldn't happen without you. There's no way on our own we'd be able to afford to go and do that. So thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be right back then. Kisses.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Okay, and we're back from a very interesting SodaStream commercial conversation we were having
Sponsored
during the
by
break.
SodaStream.
If anybody wants to talk, I'm a new SodaStream haver, so if you guys want to give me some
She's
tips.
got a nice heavy soda stream.
Freddie wants to Freddie wants to carbonate the dog's water, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I just kind of want to see how they would react to the bubbles.
Boobers.
Well, who's talking about carbonating pee?
Me, that was my idea. I was like, let's try it. I mean, what's it gonna hurt?
It's gonna destroy your soda stream.
I know. I'm not gonna do it.
I would never want to drink anything that came out of that thing again.
All right, Andy.
Hey, some people like it.
Hey, if that's
Some
your
people love
thing,
drinking carbonated piss. No, want to yuck your yum.
Donald Trump does. Hey, Andy.
Yes, I watched Hack House.
Hack House.
Hack House. Is that a dumb name?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's a dumb movie. I know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The premise is that there's a proposition that got passed in the electoral. It got passed through. That
You're like, was it even a real branch of government?
Andy
in the
doesn't
screenplay?
understand
Or do you
government.
not understand?
I don't think this movie understands how
Okay.
government works either, because the proposition got passed where violent criminals can serve half of what's remaining on their sentence in halfway houses. And we're talking about murderers, rapists.
Is it because of like overcrowding?
I guess. I don't know, but I don't even.
We do need to reform our criminal
Yeah, no,
justice
I know-
system,
I
but
under-
this seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I understand that the prison system in this country is pretty fucked up. I've seen what's that show on
Castle Rock.
Lock
Up?
Lock Up.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
Lock Up.
fucked up.
Oh, it's all fucked
But
up.
I don't think the answer is letting these people out.
Well,
into
maybe not
halfway
the
houses.
violent people. There
Yeah, you
are a
keep
lot of
them.
other people
Yeah,
who are in
exactly.
jail who.
Yeah, for like like drug offenses or something.
Yeah.
Even though they shouldn't be in prison anyway. Certain
They need to be in drug treatment.
Exactly. But I
Preach.
don't want murderers living next to me. I don't care.
Well, I mean,
Not in your backyard.
not NIMBY. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Not in my backyard. NIMBY. If you've served your time completely, if you were
Yeah, but
sentenced to
these are
18 years
But
and you
these are
served
like
18 years,
They still haven't served all their time
Oh,
yet.
see, then no, fuck
these,
that.
These aren't people.
Half-time. They've done
Yeah.
half their time.
Yeah.
okay, so this is a dumb idea, but go on.
Yeah. And like I said, like I wouldn't think about this stupid proposition if it was a good movie.
Right.
But since it's a
But you
bad
got
movie,
caught up on
yeah,
this.
exactly. I was like, that would never pass because people are very hung up on
Is it because?
criminals in
Oh
this
god,
country.
I'm gonna stop trying to cars the reason why this
Yeah.
exists. Okay, so you got a halfway house full of murderers.
Yeah,
and rapists.
and we follow this guy. He just got released. We don't know what he did necessarily, but he's the main character. And then he meets all the other felons that he's living in the halfway house with. There's like just a bunch of murderers, and there's this Forrest Gumpian pedophile.
Forrest Gumpian.
You know, or Rain Manian.
Ooh.
Ah.
okay,
That's more
Yeah.
accurate because
Right.
that guy.
Yep.
Rain Manish.
Yeah.
Yep. A
And like-
praying rain manish.
So everybody has their backstory, which is not important, but
Right.
they're all bad people. And just one day, just this masked man comes in and starts killing everybody. And I guess the guy that we're following that just got released, he's like a snitch, and he has like a bounty on his head, and the people are hunting him to get the bounty, the paper towels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Quicker,
picker,
picker.
bopper.
It's just the fucking house,
Yeah.
but they make it seem out to be this big labyrinth
Yeah.
with multiple rooms, but it's just the fucking house.
So not an open floor plan.
No. But they make it try to seem creepy by making the lights low, which is not a good idea in a halfway house full of criminals. You need a lot of lights.
But all the lights are only halfway on.
Okay.
Oh.
Everything's halfway.
All the doors
Yeah.
are halfway open.
Everything's on dimmers.
It's like you went to Ripley's Believe It or Not and look at the
Yeah.
house where everything's split in half.
Yeah.
There you go.
Half a toilet.
All the
Uh-huh.
chickens half
Yeah.
cooked. Everyone's half sick.
They all got salmonella.
Yeah.
You got half a turd out your ass.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aw.
Or half a turd in your ass if
Yeah.
you're an optimist.
Aw.
The ass is half full.
So they're just trying, like, I'm guessing the other murderers are
Yeah, they're
getting killed by accident.
To like make it to cover up, the crime. To like they're to make it seem like they're not just targeting that one person. They kill everybody. If there was one good scene where I hate that in movies where like somebody gets stabbed and they grab the knife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hate that
because it looks like it hurts.
Yeah. And then the knife just slowly gets pushed in, and like it
cuts their hands too.
I feel
like not my hands too.
I would rather I feel that's worse than getting stabbed.
This is the worst birthday I've ever had.
Your instinct is to try to stop it.
I wouldn't try to stop it. I'd just let them stab me because I don't want to grab the blade because I feel that would hurt too much.
You're like, that's unsafe.
I think your instincts would kick in, but anyway.
Yeah, your bloodborne pathogen training.
It feels like a giant paper cut.
Yeah,
I hate
paper cuts.
Yeah, I hate paper cuts. I'd rather
paper cuts are the worst.
They're the worst because nobody cares. You can't go. It hurts. It hurts a lot, but you're getting zero sympathy for your paper cut.
I feel I'd rather be hacked to death than
every time you eat salt and vinegar potato chips, you're reminded of your wound. It's like a trauma.
I bit the inside of my lip the other day, and then I kept biting it because it swells, and then you just keep.
Yeah, it's got that little piece of skin hanging out, so you
it's
can't.
Awful.
Yes.
And anytime I would drink or eat something slightly spicy or carbonated, it would hurt, but I wouldn't stop. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't think I have a survival instinct if I'm that afraid of paper cuts.
No, you would just lay down.
What are you supposed to do? So if you get stabbed, if the knife is in you, are you supposed to pull it out and cover the wound? Because you want to get the thing out.
No, you want to leave it in. Don't ever, if you're ever stabbed, public service announcement.
Yeah, please
anything ever penetrates your body to the point where
leave it in.
Just leave it in until you get help.
Keep the fluids in you.
Yeah, you can put pressure kind of, in a way, it's tricky. You have to be careful where you put the pressure, too, if you have a blade in you.
Yeah.
Tricky. You rock around. That's right on time.
Yeah, because like that, so like if you're running through the woods, like we're in a horror movie, and I run into a limb, and it's inside me.
Yeah, break it off, but leave it inside your body.
Okay.
Because
so you can move.
No, that's
when you take it out, you'll bleed out.
That's where you live now. You got to live with the limb.
Yeah.
With the limb.
Until you can get help.
Until...
It's the worst thing people do when they have those kinds of injuries is they pull it out and then they bleed to death.
Gotcha.
But I don't think you think clearly when you have such a trauma like that.
Well, of course not.
It's interesting.
It's the instinct is to pull it out.
I was doing I had to do a talk recently or training on mindfulness, and I was reading these things about like war people who have been in wars, and they have like these awful things happen, but they use like mindfulness is the only reason they stay alive because they were clearly thinking they were taking breaths and whatnot.
Yeah, same thing with people with plane crashes.
Yeah, it's the people who are like breathing and being present instead of like they're like trying to think through 7 steps ahead. That's people who are like, what do I need to do right now in this moment? So then like when you're talking about that, I'm like, if I got stabbed and I was breathing, I'd still be like, now wait. Am I supposed to pull it out, or am I supposed to leave it in?
Come back to the breath.
The pull out method.
Pull out.
Yeah.
So pull out.
So if you're
don't
stabbed,
pull out,
if you're stabbed,
don't pull out.
Pull it out and spray it all over your tits.
I love
don't
your back.
Pull out.
Hey, I love your tits. Speaking of which,
what?
We went to like that German restaurant yesterday, and
oh my,
me and Freddie play with our food.
Oh yeah,
Schmitz. Shout out to Columbus. Schmitz, great restaurant,
sausage house.
Yeah,
so
and
great.
And shout out, hi Josh.
And
hi Josh.
They have these little rolls that look like breasts with nipples on them.
Yeah, because the way I guess they were extruded.
I wanted to be the Amy at the table. Amy wasn't there. I wanted to be the Amy at the table because I was like they don't really look like it. But then when I saw the nipples on the rolls, he was right. They definitely look like breasts.
You know, of course it's a German restaurant, so it's sausage heavy.
Right.
So you guys were a bunch of lost boys, and you had no Wendy.
We
and I was in turmoil.
So we titty fucked the rolls with sausage.
Oh, really? See, I thought those were giant testicles that you were making.
Oh, no.
Because then we took the little piece of sausage and we put it by them so it looked like there was a little penis resting on top of it.
But then Freddie took the garlic sauerkraut and added pubic hair to the whole scene.
Then I took that sour cream and put it on the tip of the
and
penis.
Put sour cream on it.
Amy, you would not have let it pass.
Did the waitress come by and and go.
I at
look
one
at
point
that.
tried to.
I told Andy, I said they are probably so numb to people doing this at this point.
That's exactly what I was like, the waitress is close. And at one point I picked up the roll, and then I saw the look of like just disappointment. I put the roll back. I'm like,
They
I'm
want
not
you
a good.
to play with. Oh,
I'm not a
Freddie's
good
I have a
got
picture of it.
Oh, so we were on the same disgusting food page.
That's nice. So Andy, Hack House. Do you recommend it?
No.
Okay, good.
Like
It
I
sounds
said,
more like an action movie than a horror film.
It's like a slasher
well,
sort of.
It's kind of like that movie where nothing happens for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You're introduced to all these characters, and there's this really. I shouldn't complain about gratuity in horror movies because horror movies are gratuitous, but there's just a scene where this. I guess one of the guys has special privileges because he's on good behavior. And he can actually leave the halfway house and come back, which would never happen anyway. And he brings a girl back, and then they're about to do it, but she strips and does like this dance for like 5 minutes straight, and it's just very unnecessary.
Too much boobies.
Yeah.
Was it just for him, or were like the other people in the halfway
No,
house?
it's just for him, but
Okay.
in the audience, but it just felt tacked on.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So no go on Hack House.
I shouldn't complain about morals when I'm making in class when I'm making
Yeah.
sausage titties.
Sausage titties.
Again, I thought it was.
sausage was not.
I thought it was elephantitis
Yeah.
of the testicles.
I don't how weren't we on the same
No.
page?
You know, really, what we should have done, we had these bratwurst balls that were perfect.
Those were too
But they
good.
were
Those belonged
so-
in your mouth.
Yeah, they were so tasty.
but I was like pushing the sausage between the titties and making
How
it.
did you not
I
get what he
remember
was
you doing that, but still, I'm just saying.
Okay. So we got a gun. It's got a movie bullet in it. Oh no. Who is going to die by movie bullet?
Freddie has a picture if you guys want to see it.
No, I saw it. Mikey B, you're up first. You're dead.
Oh,
This is a recommend from our friend Fozzie Bear.
yay!
And actually, it's kind of an interesting. It's kind of similar to what you just watched, Andy, but he says this is good. So let's see
Okay.
if you agree. It's
Yeah.
called Crush the Skull. It's on Amazon Prime.
Sounds like a board game or something.
It does.
Yeah.
I thought a surfing movie.
A group of thieves find themselves trapped in a house they intended to rob, only to discover they've inadvertently wandered into the lair of a deranged serial killer. Forced now to navigate his sadistic torture den, will they survive?
Okay.
Crush the Skull.
I feel like this is. Have we done? Oh, this is kind of like a hackneyed idea, but we've done a movie like this before, right?
I'm sure.
Where
You mean
like
people stuck in a house with a psychopath?
No, we're like the girl. They stumble upon her, but it turns out it's an exorcism or something.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
what
and
was that?
VHS?
No, it was
Or-
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Wait.
But yeah, it's not
It's kind of
not completely original,
Yeah.
but he says it was a lot of fun. So
There
let's
are
see
no
if he's
new
right.
ideas. Yes.
True.
or like people under the stairs. That kind
The
of
ones
that
he's
too.
recommended to me so far, Fozzie's is pretty good.
No,
There's
I
been a
think
couple
he's-
I've liked that he doesn't like, but
Well.
yeah, most of the ones he's recommended, he's done good.
All right, so there you go, kids. Crush the Skull next week, or whenever that next episode is.
If there's not a skull crushing in that movie,
Week
though,
after next. Maybe. Hold on.
Yeah, we got feedback next. Okay, we're coming back.
so I
in
have
a
like
moment.
3 weeks. I better write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be on...
Be the first week of September because we got feedback then Horror Hound.
Yeah, it's going to be...
It's gonna be
This has been
May.
fun for the listener.
It's going to be the first episode of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Did you guys like that moment, guys? Listening?
September
Was that worth your
2nd.
time?
They like scheduling too.
Ooh.
So
All
excited.
right, we'll be right back.
Hey there. This week's main attraction is from 2006. Brian De Palma's hot bowl of shit, The Black Dahlia.
It's awful.
This movie was terrible.
Yeah.
What happened?
It started with Josh Hartnett. That's
Ugh,
where it first went
jeez.
wrong.
Oh,
Movie you done fucked up right there.
Give me
don't
a
wanna
movie
think-
he was good in.
You know he's good in like
Uh,
in teen movies.
was
and
he
like
in-
Yeah.
Was he in...
like Faculty? Was he in the Faculty?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that was fine. He
the
didn't bother
problem
me there.
is when he does like movies that
Require some gravitas
not gravitas,
and charisma.
no, he's
Uniqueness.
good
Nerve
as a person now.
30 Days of Night was good.
Yeah, when he goes like, in the past, or like Pearl Harbor or something like that, or
Which wasn't
or
good
this, he's just too contemporary.
I don't know.
I think it was more in this. It was just like he was like a blank space.
So was Scarlett Johansson.
And so was ScarJo. Yeah,
It picked up her performance a little bit, but it wasn't great either.
I think the problem with this movie, and again, okay, here's the
They
I
didn't
blame
focus on the
directing
right-
for everything, but
They didn't focus on the right character. Aaron Eckhart was the more interesting character.
yeah.
No, they should have focused on Black Dahlia.
Yeah,
That too,
quick
of course.
background. James Elroy wrote this. He's the writer of LA Confidential. It's two policemen see their personal and professional lives fall apart in the wake of the Black Dahlia murder investigation. Why? And again, what Andy was just saying, you have these two characters. They are also pro-am boxers and police detectives, and it's really just about them. And the Black Dahlia is just a background piece. It shouldn't even be the fucking name of the movie or the book,
Yeah.
probably. I haven't read the book. It's just like the most interesting thing about this story is the Black Dahlia murder.
We
but
got catfished with this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Really?
were expecting, Black Dahlia cut in half, but we got Josh Hartnett instead.
Cut in half.
And then there were just the story didn't make sense either. I didn't think I wasn't following the fucking dumb narrative. It's fucking stupid.
Now, I saw this when it came out in the theater, and I really hated it then. And I thought, because we had watched Zodiac, and I didn't really like Zodiac the first time I saw it, I thought, I'll give Black Dahlia another chance, and I'll probably love it. It's probably just like Zodiac. It's not.
No, it is not.
It is a bad... And what's funny is, again, it's a case of a bunch of really super talented people put together.
It had
and Hartnett.
it had the ingredients,
Yeah, all the ingredients were there.
but
Except
something
for
went
Hartnett.
something went wrong.
Somebody didn't mix their wet together before they added their dry.
I
We've
feel
all learned that from Nailed It.
Ever watched like a episode of the Great British Baking Show?
Yeah.
And they mistake the sugar for
Yeah.
sugar for salt.
Yeah.
And put salt instead of sugar.
Yeah, that's what happened
That's
here.
what happened.
That was the Hartnett.
Does that happen a lot on that show?
It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens enough where it's
When
a thing.
people are rushing, yeah.
Okay.
So-
or like Nailed It.
Nailed It,
happens
that's
a
what
lot.
I was saying,
yeah,
yeah.
I can see that.
More on
happening.
Nailed It.
Yeah.
But you can tell like this was like supposed to be a love letter, as Andy loves love letters, to film noir movies. With it has two femme fatales. Like everything about this, they were trying to double it.
They doubled the recipe, but they didn't do it right.
Right. And like, so all the performances, especially, it's funny because like Hartnett is playing, he's acting in a much different movie than the rest of the cast.
Everybody was acting in a different movie because
Yeah.
Hilary Swank was she was so character heavy.
She was
I don't
way over the top.
understand-
Yeah.
Her character to begin with.
And then Scarlett Johansson was almost like a Valley girl.
I
Yeah.
don't understand why the boxing bullshit. I don't care. That was stupid, and I don't care. I don't understand why he even wanted to talk to Hilary Swank at that lesbian bar. Okay, I don't even understand
These,
why.
by the way, were the only parts that I thought were interesting in that
Yeah.
movie. Is that her family and the lesbian bar?
But it didn't make any sense.
And no, it doesn't make any sense. But
Well,
at least
he
it's like
followed-
stylized to a point where you're just like, this is interesting to watch. The
Yeah.
rest of it's stylized, and I'm like, I don't.
I'm bored.
There was some clue that sent him to her character.
But what was
No,
it?
it's because they were seen together or something. Because
Yeah, it was like
think
a
it was-
lesbian
rumors-
tryst at night or
Yeah.
the
something.
rumors were that the Black Dahlia was a lesbian and she hung out.
Well,
at
no,
the
she just went to those bars to
yeah,
get
the
free
bar, yeah,
drinks.
and they questioned all the lesbians there.
Yeah, but nobody said go talk to Hilary Swank. Nobody said that.
Well, he talked to her because she looked like
Yeah.
the Black Dahlia.
She wore black.
She was. Well, he said in his words, she was the closest looking one he had seen yet.
Yeah.
So therefore, because she kind of looks like her, she must be involved.
Right.
Well, that was
That
the
don't
reason.
make no damn sense.
I mean, I won't attack that as a way of trying to move the story forward because, good God, this movie needed something to move the story
Oh
forward.
my gosh! I think I fell asleep for a little bit of it. I'm sorry. I watched
Okay,
it this
okay.
morning.
So Aaron Eckhart and Josh Hartnett are partners.
Fire and Ice.
Mr. Fire and Mr. Ice. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're
But they
searching-
immediately become they're friends, even though they're like slated to do this fight. They're like friends from the beginning. They like each other,
Well,
even though
Also, Hartnett is basically going to throw the fight.
right.
So he can get money to put his dad up in a nice retirement
Right.
home.
Who cares? And then, so they're on another case, And then they find the Black Dahlia nearby where they just had a shootout.
Right.
And then Aaron Eckhart's like, I'm going to become obsessed with this because I had a sister that died.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So what's really happening, and this is a spoiler, but it'll help us frame what we're about to talk
The
about.
whole thing's a damn spoiler.
The Aaron
It's a
Eckhart
spoiled movie to begin with.
Mr. Fire, he the whole shootout thing is a setup to cover his tracks because he's a dirty cop.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ice doesn't know he's a dirty cop, and he just has him with him as basically an alibi to say that to make it look like these gangsters shot first, when in reality he's covering his tracks by killing them. And then Hartnett and Hartnett, Fire and Ice, so sorry. They go to Mr.
Sounds like the worst 80s buddy comedy
Yeah.
ever.
Well, they go to
I feel like one of them should be black.
yeah, probably. They go to Mr. Fire's house, and he's like, "Whoa, this is way nicer. How do you afford a place like this?" Wink, wink. Oh, foreshadowing. And he's living with a lady named Kay Lake. Kay Lake was she was a prostitute, sex worker, in almost like a Nexium style situation because she was branded with the initials of
that's
BD.
true.
And BD was
BD Wong.
It was BD Wong, yeah. So think about that when you go spend your money on BD Wong movies.
First he cloned dinosaurs, and now he's branding whores.
David.
What was his name? Do you remember who the BD was?
It doesn't matter.
DeWitt.
Bobby DeWitt. Yes, thank you.
DeWitt.
DeWitt. And so she had been, clearly had a really bad life, and but they're happy together now,
Yeah.
the two of them.
Eckhart was the one who busted her pimp, basically, and
Right.
who was a bank robber too. But the money went missing.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
He's a dirty cop and he stole it, and
Then the pimp is getting out of prison now,
soon.
right?
I think so,
Yeah.
This is where I started to be like,
Too much.
I flatlined around here.
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Now, through all this, the movie, again, this is just like what I said about Neon Demon. It looks great.
I don't think so.
Really?
Well, here. So Brian De Palma, like I was just going through there are some films that I do like, and there are a lot of films I don't like. Was Untouchables a good movie?
I always liked Untouchables a lot.
I just feel like in the sense of like when you're doing like this obviously stylized movie, like I think of like the LA Confidential sort of, and even what was Sin City, are those like really like there were moments in this film that I just didn't get what they were even trying to go. I mean, they were trying to go for this LA noir, but the lighting and nothing really felt juicy to me.
Cheap.
It did look cheap.
It looked like
cheap and rushed.
No, it looked like Hollywood Studios at Disney.
Oh yeah, but I think that was on purpose.
But but it wasn't.
I don't.
You don't think so?
It was like a cartoonish version of.
I agree.
LA.
It looked like
could have been fun. You could have gone like full on Roger Rabbit here.
But they took it. But they took it too seriously for them to.
Jessica Rabbit gets cut in half.
There's a scene to me that is unforgivable in this one where they're doing like the classic LA noir scene where Scarlett Johansson's giving some like good information to the camera, and she's supposed to be this juicy seductress, and then she's low lighted, but there's like this light across her eyes, and it didn't. It should have been like just cinematography, like wah, and it's not. Like I kind of see a little bit extra light on her eyes. I kind of see like.
You're just saying that in that case it wasn't extreme enough, like contrast between the band. Yeah, I get you there.
Instead, it just felt like it just didn't feel like it was an attempt at a look, but that didn't even come through. So
it is funny because he does blend the absurd, like, false look of like Dick Tracy in parts with like when you get into Hollywood land, into the housing development, that's very realistic looking.
That makes sense.
So I can get why you would look at those two styles of cinematography and say, and also the art direction, and say like, why did you do this two different ways?
Right.
You know, when it's inconsistent.
Like that big Busby Berkeley lesbian number.
Yeah.
That was
With
kind
Katie
of-
Lang.
That kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I
a little
liked
bit.
it though because at least it
Yeah,
it felt like
it
it was
was-
doing what
no,
it's supposed to do.
it
I've
was
been in a
fun.
lesbian
Yeah.
bar and it wasn't
Yeah.
like that.
It wasn't quite that
It was
entertaining.
a les bar. I like the old timey terms for it.
The sisters.
The leses.
Lesbos.
You know,
What they said in the movie.
when Josh Hartnett said les, I thought about Home Alone and les incompetents.
Kevin, hear what the French call les incompetents.
That's what you call a dumb lesbian.
It's horrible. You didn't think of Nick Kroll?
So help me with the story, because then we get to this
Good
moment
luck.
where you know that Aaron Eckhart's character is dirty and he's working with this Monty Friedman guy, but I don't understand his whole death scene. What was supposed to be happening there?
Okay, he went to kill the guy that knew that they took the money from the robbery, right?
The Bobby Dwight.
Yeah. But they got ambushed by what later turns out to be Hilary Swank, right?
I guess.
Yes.
Say what? Hold
So,
on.
but I don't know how Hilary Swank knew that he was going to be there.
Exactly. And I'm not sure how Josh Hartnett knew anyone was going to be there.
Yeah, they just kind of show up and he's sleeping and they're in a car. But
No, it's because Scarlett Johansson said that he's going to be here at this hotel to kill the guy after he found the money. And then that's what?
So who was
No, I
the guy that
just
was-
watched it this morning, and
What?
it's just so much going on.
who was the
Yeah.
guy strangling?
That was the actual.
Li-
That was Hilary Swank's dad's partner.
Weird friend.
Yeah.
He was the one who was obsessed with the Black
Yeah,
Dahlia.
and he set the dad set up a date with the Black Dahlia and the garroting guy.
Right, but why
Brad Garrett.
why was the Black Dahlia's killer trying to kill Aaron Eckhart?
Because Aaron Eckhart was blackmailing the dad because he knew that Hilary Swank was a lesbian and they didn't want that to get out.
Oh, was
When did
was
this
that also
happen?
happen? Are you sure
when
that
did
happened?
this happen?
It was like
When did they say that? It's a movie.
it was at the end where all this information came out to us.
Yeah. Oh, you mean when Petunia Dursley
Yeah.
blew her brains out?
It's kind of like at the end of Crystal Skull.
I love that scene, by the way. I
that
loved
was
her
the
in
best.
this movie.
Yeah.
Scene
Yes.
she was in, she was awesome.
It was really
Mrs.
funny.
Dursley fucking
Yeah.
nailed it. She was
did.
fun to watch.
She was-
Nailed it in the head, too.
Remember
Yeah.
at the end of Crystal Skull where Kate Blanchett got all the information and she went crazy?
That's what watching this movie is.
That's what it was like, because you get all this information at the end where you get no clues before of what happened.
Right.
And then like, what?
Well,
But
How
you
did this
also
happen?
you also get information that's not interesting and means nothing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even just red herring. At least a red herring is a red herring because it's interesting. It was not interesting.
Right.
All of the information was not interesting.
it was cut down from a 3-hour
I don't give a
runtime.
fuck.
I felt like it was.
Yeah.
You could
About
tell it was edited out because there were
anything.
stories that don't make sense.
Yeah.
But
Anything
kind
that
of-
didn't have to do with the fucking Black Dahlia can eat shit and die.
But it was just interesting, like how many ingredients there were. You had the crazy mom, like the Baby Jane character almost.
Yeah.
And then you had the Anna Paquin, the sister of.
Oh no, that was
That wasn't Anna Paquin?
No, that
Oh,
was
that's
Rachel
Rachel
Miner.
Oh, okay. Anyway, she is a erotic artist.
That was really funny.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But it didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, the Lynn Scott family are like a quirky, almost
Yeah.
like a David Lynch style family.
Yeah.
Where the dad is into some weird shit that he's with his ex-military friends. You're not really sure what.
Yeah, you don't know how he got his money and everything.
Right. And then like you were saying, the youngest daughter is an erotic artist.
That scene, it was the one part of this movie that I actually kind of started to lift me up from my almost slumber, maybe slumber, because you, like, right from the second you step into that house, you're just thrown off balance because the dog is holding the paper and she's just like casually tells him that, well, yeah, dad shot the dog because on the day on, you know, whatever, something 1829, whatever the year was, that he shot the dog to commiserate the moment of when it was in the newspaper. And then she just takes him in nonchalantly into this room with all of these characters who just do a fantastic job of throwing off balance because you have like no idea what's going on. And it's fun. And they're all over the top. It's fun.
And at this point, it turns to first person point of POV.
yeah,
From his-
for no
For no reason.
Andy, can we roll back to the Garrett scene? Where
Mrs. Garrett.
Where
Brad
this is
Garrett.
the death.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Mrs. Garrett.
We saw Tootie sign a book. Mrs. Garrett. Tootie's doing good.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, we forgot to congratulate Dale on his marriage.
We were going to say it. We're going to say it when
Yeah, we'll say it twice.
We're going to do it again.
We'll say it twice. But anyways, Mr. Fire, his death scene.
We're like this movie right now, by the way.
What?
We're like this movie. No through line.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's every show.
I think my favorite scene is this because he falls head first into this statue and his cabeza bops open and his brains come out, and then they burn him. Mr. Fire gets cremated, and
I'm not sure who's burning him.
Right? Is it the mob?
It's a mobster that there was an informant or something. I guess
it's some sort of cleanup. I guess. Are they going to just act like he disappeared? Because they never come back to that either.
I don't know why I'm looking around for you guys for.
No, I know we have nothing either.
You guys don't know either.
His cabeza bopped open.
Yep.
Yeah, and all of his brains fell out. And it was really I love De Palma's take on violence is always so great.
Yeah, because it's over the top.
Yeah, it's very much like Argento, you know.
Yeah.
Which was when I saw he directed this, I was expecting a lot more gore.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to focus on the murder itself,
right?
Because it's a very fascinating story, the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
It deserves a better movie because if you guys don't know about it, the way they found her body was very almost Jack the Ripper-ish.
Well, they insinuate that the Laughing Man, the film that like inspired the Joker and all that, like the look of the Joker, the father of the Linsky family, they have this painting from the film, like somebody painted the face. I don't know who in the family, was it like one of the family painted it maybe or something, but regardless, it's when he sees it, you see the smiling man. They keep going back to that, like they even go to see it earlier or is it the Laughing Man, the smiling? Anyways, regardless, the Mr. Fire, Mr. Ice, and ScarJo go to see the movie. So and I guess it triggers the connection that when he sees the painting after the murder, he's like, oh, that maybe this is why they sliced her from ear to ear with this like the grin thing.
No, it turns out that the Black Dahlia did stag films and
for the dad.
Yeah, because and ultimately it was
Hillary
as a gift, right? They were making them
like
just for the guy who killed Mr.
And
Fire. Right?
It turns out that the guy who attempted to garrot Aaron Eckhart is actually the father of
Hillary
Swank
and the killer.
Yeah, and the mom went crazy because the father was obsessed with the Black Dahlia, and she thought that was gross because they look somewhat. Hillary Swank and the Black Dahlia looked alike, so she needed to get rid of the Black Dahlia because it was too crazy for her that they looked alike, and the dad was obsessed with it.
Any sense?
Especially with as bananas crazy as she was.
They didn't do a good enough job of explaining anybody's motivations at all.
It's interesting that, like, going through, like, just kind of throwing through the IMDb of Brian De Palma films, like, he's known for, like, setting up a fantastic scene. Like, you think Untouchables and the baby carriage rolling down the steps, or Carrie and the whole prom scene. And, like, there were some moments, like, when you think about, like, that style, like the head splitting scene or the bullet. There were some of those moments in there, but you didn't earn anything.
No.
So it didn't work. It just didn't work.
Yeah, nothing was.
I'm not requiring the man to be perfect.
No.
But this movie was a hot, steaming pile of crap.
Yeah, every moment felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, there was literally no build.
Felt like Ryan Murphy directed.
No, that'd been more fun. It'd been more fun.
True.
Ryan Murphy's great at doing fun stuff. That would have been more fun movie.
That's true.
But like most Ryan Murphy stuff, it gets a little too much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just like a
Just the
really good
unearned
candy. Like
moments.
it's really good at first.
Yeah,
and
it's like at the end of this movie, we're like, what?
especially at a 2-hour
The
film.
what?
It's
Yeah.
not.
Has everybody seen Body Double? I know you haven't, Amy, right? You said Body Double is, I think, my favorite De Palma movie. If you haven't seen it, it's really
I need
good.
to go back and watch Untouchables, because I would have said
Yeah.
Untouchables or Carrie were my
I've
favorite.
never seen The Untouchables.
Untouchables is so fun, but a lot of that is, I feel like, to Sean Connery.
Yeah, you can't criticize it.
It's untouchable.
It's untouchable. Or if you're in India, you can't eat dinner with it.
And it's on the top shelf.
I want
to
talk about some of the supporting cast in this movie. Mike Starr, who played the lead detective, the big guy. I always mixed him up with a guy from Police Academy 2. Stulman, who was the really gross guy that had kind of the hoarder apartment. He was Steve Guttenberg's partner in the second one, and he was eating cereal, and he's yelling at his cast, and he's like, "In the litter box, in the litter box," and he flicks the cat shit out of his Cheerios, but then he finishes them. And then he finds the candy bar in the garbage and still eats it. Like he brushes the ants off of it and eats it.
Oh, I remember this guy from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
he's the guy that was the hitman. That he ate the chili peppers and died.
Yeah. But Mike Starr is actually like a really great actor. He's been in a lot of great stuff, but he was not Stulman. That was a completely different dude.
Okay.
I had to look it up. I was like, that wasn't him?
You have face blindness, so
yeah,
can't really trust your opinion on that.
Another great supporting actor in this is Patrick Fischler, who played one of the... he was like the DA, and he's been on like Silicon Valley and stuff. He's just a really interesting actor.
Yeah.
And then you have Rose McGowan. I just want to get to Rose McGowan as the starlet character. Cheryl Sadden. This scene is so over the top. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's dressed up as Cleopatra.
Yeah.
And is that like a truck of whores?
The truck of other Cleopatra.
There are a bunch of actors. She's. Well, I think what he's trying to say is she's a dime a dozen, but the build up to that moment is she has this conversation with the cops like, "I'm a star. I'm one of a kind. Blah 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 blah," and it's really really corny. Like caricature film noir, overdone, just completely overdone. And then she goes down, she hears a horn honk, and they look out the door, and there's literally a flatbed full of girls that look exactly like her.
It's like the workers in front of Home Depot or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got the actresses like, you need some work,
and she's like, the truck doesn't wait. like they're gonna leave without me. I'm such a big star, but the truck's gonna leave without me.
I thought it was like they were like just trucking these like prostitutes out to somewhere.
Why did you think?
I don't know because they were talking about she was the
Can you sign for this truckload of prostitutes?
I liked and I was like, that's a disrespectful way to treat these prostitutes.
Yeah. I liked her in the film. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, because they were talking about how the Black Dahlia was kind of did some things on the sly.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were roommates, and that's why I thought it was a truck full of whores.
Yeah.
I think she just meant that she was making nudie films.
Did you enjoy her in this film? I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It was a fine moment.
I love Rose McGowan even when she's kind of bad. I mean, I just there's something about her that
she's got that starred quality.
Well, for me, it's more like she's just the right amount of crazy.
Yeah.
The kind of crazy I like.
Yeah.
I like my actors to be kind of unstable.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed.
I know she's not doing films
that's why you love that's why you love Tom Cruise.
It is. And that's why I love Jack Nicholson, because I always suspected he was just on borderline crazy.
But when you look at Hilary Swank in this film, and I know she's Academy Award winning Hilary Swank, she didn't she could have been. It took me a minute to figure out who it was. When Rose McGowan's in it for the short period of time she's in it, you know exactly who she is and what she's doing, and she's fun. So,
and Hilary Swank's performance was also completely over the top.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's not.
But it was terrible.
You can't really criticize the performances of anyone in this movie because of the context that it's made.
You feel like
except for Hartnett.
That wasn't a performance.
I have
that guy,
and I don't have a problem with his performance either. I just feel like he was just playing complete flatline.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what De Palma told him to do, is you are just the mysterious, quiet man. What can you do with that? I mean, there's nothing you can do with that.
No, but
role.
even his voiceover was so flat and unaffected. It was
those old noir movies. That's how it always was, though.
But I think his was even sleepier.
Just let us hate him.
I just say it's not Hartnett's fault.
Whatever.
It's not his fault.
Well, no, the movie is not his fault.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, to me, it's sort of like
He's
a Phantom Menace issue.
Dracula.
Natalie Portman, I don't blame Natalie Portman for Phantom Menace. I think she was doing what she was told to do and probably did it really well, because that's what she brings her, all of those characters. I feel like they were all playing what they were told to play. It just didn't work at all. So I don't think any of those, this is a great lineup of actors. It should have been a fantastic film. Good subject material, great actors. Just
Agreed.
Well, boo.
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 Whoops, I burped.
Ready?
I'm sorry.
Anything else about this movie?
Like I said, she deserves a better movie.
Who?
Black Dahlia.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Short.
Oh, Hilary Swank's Bottom is fantastic.
Okay.
I don't know if I assume that was really her. Great bum.
Nice bottom,
No,
lady.
It was a booty double. A booty double.
Yeah, well then there was Hartnett's butt as well.
Oh, we saw his butt. I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Were you on your phone?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be ironic if you were Googling his butt and during the scene just holding your phone up to the TV and it like lined up?
Did he have a nice butt or is it flat like his performance?
Oh, damn. It seemed all right. I don't know. I think it was good.
Or just like a crack in the wall, just flat?
I mean, I think there were some buns there.
There was some.
Here's the thing. Hilary
3D
Swank's
nature.
butt was so good that it was actually doing Hartnett a disservice to have them on the same cell of film together because you're not going to want to look at his butt.
I feel like this is one of those things in like the next Origin series that we're gonna have to apologize for. Later.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not going to apologize for Josh Hartnett's flat butt.
That's
It wasn't
true.
flat.
It was a. I mean,
It was fine. It had some. I said it was 3D in
I
nature.
definitely fell asleep because I don't remember. I don't remember seeing his butt. Sorry.
All right, Black
It's your
Dahlia.
fault, movie. I'm blaming the movie for me falling asleep.
You can go to the corner and think about what you did.
Mm-hmm. It's your fault. I
I
fell
wanted
asleep.
to say next month. Oh, send your feedback in for Fame. Please. Crew at
I wanna live
notlp.com. Facebook is NOTLP. Instagram is Night of Living Podcast. Twitter is NOTLP. Phone number is 513-666-0916. Or you can go to our website and just go to the little contact button and it's all there.
You can do all of those things.
And we're on Spotify now. I know people would ask for that. We're there. You can get the show on Spotify.
yeah.
Are we on Stitcher?
Yeah. I had to have that fixed recently because for some reason it hadn't updated in like
Stitch
a
it?
year. So
What?
Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get finer podcasts.
What are you doing, Andy?
No, just dancing.
You should be the next.
I'm hand dancing.
Yeah. And Lewis Fowler returns back from the dead.
Yay.
September.
Proud of him.
He's alive and kicking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great to hear
It's
he's on the
fantastic.
mend.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, like we do at the end of every show, let's talk about our Beelzebubs
Yeah.
from Patreon. We're going to start with Jeremy and Cassie.
Oh, they moving soon?
Day moving.
Where'd they moving to?
Your mom's house.
Oh,
It's a full house.
You know that
Dun,
Cassie
dun, dun.
only loves Jeremy because he looks just like that dead girl.
All
All
right.
cut in half and shit.
Then we have Amanda.
Oh, Amanda and I made love once. I just did it to see what it would be like with someone who looked like me.
Oh, don't say that to Amanda.
Freddie.
Sorry, Amanda.
Dale.
I joke.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dale.
Yeah.
Did you make love to Dale once?
They had a dog
I
at
made
the
love
wedding.
to Dale once.
Huh?
They had a dog at the wedding.
A little
Oh.
French bulldog.
Yeah. Aw.
Then you did it right.
Congratulations.
It's David, right? David and
Yeah,
Dale?
I think so.
Double D's.
Oh, God.
Dungeons and Dragons, y'all.
Mandy.
Oh, Mandy. What about her insides, Amy?
They fell out. Adam.
Adam's good people. Although Hitler was a little excessive.
Brooke.
That was a line from the movie.
He's doing Black Dahlia jokes, guys. Brooke.
Oh, Brooke, please say that you care. Say that you think I'm beautiful.
Ernest.
Wait a minute. That's the Dahlia's sister? Ernie? Ernie, you're the sister of the Dahlia? That doesn't make any sense.
Albert.
I'm trying to remember other lines from the movie.
Just like the movie, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Albert's Cabeza.
Albert's cabeza popped open, all his brains fell out.
Bopped open, you said.
Popped open.
Bopped. Tree and Alex.
Tree and Alex, I think you'd rather F me than kill me. But you don't have the guts to do either.
He just got to IMDb, didn't you? And the famous lines from the movie.
Mhm.
Brandon Boone.
Oh, slumming Mr. Boone. You're supposed to say I am now.
I don't know. Bill.
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Guess what I hear is right. Bill just wants a place with Mickey Cohen's indie. What the hell?
What is happening?
Blake
Well, this is a nice one, isn't it?
and Mark.
Hold the phone.
Freddie.
That was a distinctive line from the movie that they felt they had to put in the IMDb thing.
Apparently.
Mark.
Oh, jeez.
It's more than nice. Might even be worth those front teeth of yours, Mark.
And finally, the affianced Elise.
Elise, anything common in the sex beefs?
Sex beef?
Do you know what the answer to that one was?
What?
Negro girls, young ones, all the complainants have been coloreds.
Oh, God.
Sex beef.
Sex beef.
Sex beefs.
Yeah, I already don't like roast beef sandwiches references.
Let's go to get Arby's.
Gross.
I'll take a Jamocha shake.
You're making me crazy.
Is that what we're doing for lunch?
No. Okay, so that was our
We're
show.
getting sex beefs.
Sex beef. Thank you so much for being here and
Yeah.
listening to this.
Protect your heads. Don't let it get popped open. Your cabezas.
Look out for them cabezas. You see.
Watch
the
your
cabeza.
cups. Your cabezas. What are other words? Other foreign words for head? Foreign
No
words.
complaints.
Freddie did that to me the other day. He texted me because I had a migraine, and he's like, "How's your head?" And I wrote back, "Haven't had any complaints."
Yeah.
Winky
Oh,
face.
it's so funny and cute. It's how you guys sex.
I don't know. I've been to
Keep
your,
it-
I've been
keep
to
it
your
real.
Yelp page. I've seen a lot of complaints.
Oh, Amy's Yelp.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the chicken fingers are good, but the blowjob was terrible.
One star.
Service was slow.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Everybody should have a
Bye.
Yelp page.
Give
It
me
might be fun.
Oh, there was somebody came up with that idea, and then, remember they had that whole you can
Yeah.
review other people thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay.
Don't
I'm
do
going to
that.
review you, listener, right now. You.
You're
This
awesome.
is my review of you. You're the fucking best.
5 stars.
We love you.
We'll stay.
right.
We'll stay again.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on